Hey everybody, it's Patrick
And Sarah.
from the board Meeples, and today we're going to do a review of Quacks of Quedlinburg. As always, please subscribe to our channel for more board game content.
Quacks of Quedlinburg is a award-winning 2 to 4 player game.
Designed by Wolfgang Warsch and published by North Star Games.
This game won Game of the Year in 2018 when it was translated into English. The object of the game is you are a potion mixer, and you are supposed to use the ingredients in one of your cloth bags to mix the best potion without it exploding.
Yeah, into your giant pot.
Mm-hmm. So I really like the game design. I am a sucker for a really cool design. So you have this pot, board is double-sided there, and you put all these different ingredients into your pot that you will draft over the course of the game. So there's tons of different cool-looking chips. They all have different values. You get some rubies, which can advance your game. So that's really nice. They're actually like hard ruby-colored gems.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the ingredients are also printed on these nice little ingredient books. So it's just a really cute, nice-looking game in that way.
It kind of makes you feel like you're actually looking through your, magic books to figure out the recipe that you're trying to mix into your giant cauldron. So overall, I think the design is it's very stylish. It's very easy to read and understand what you are trying to do with each of the components of the game. Because of that, it really makes it into a straightforward game in terms of gameplay. I find that it can be done pretty quickly with 2 players. Now, we play this a fair amount, so I think the game recommends 45 minutes to play, but I'm thinking that's probably more in the area of 4 players, roughly. But we can play sometimes in 20 minutes, maybe 30, depending on how much effort we're putting into the gameplay.
Yeah, so once you get a little bit better at the game, there are a ton of different variations. So I think there's like 5 or 6 different ingredients, and they all have these books, which are double-sided, and there's 4 different, basically, rules for each of the ingredients. So if you want to mix up the game, all of these ingredients can be switched around to kind of change it up a little bit.
Yep.
Then you can also play a more advanced version where on this side of the board, it's pretty straightforward. You don't really have any abilities. But on this side, you actually have a track that you get bonuses the more advanced that you get in the game. So there's a ton of different variations and choices in the game, which I really like because it adds to the replayability.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this kind of game is actually really good for families. I'm not sure what the age restriction or suggestion is on the game, but it's pretty straightforward. It's easy to do. It's kind of a fun little game that I'm sure the family could enjoy.
Yeah, I think anybody that knows basic math, like maybe 9, 10 plus, could easily play this game because you just have to kind of add up your values on the different tracks. So yeah, it could definitely be played for the whole family. Did you mention the expansion?
No, there's also an expansion called the Herb Witches, which we don't have and we have not played, so we're not really sure what it's about. I know it adds more players, but just by more stuff.
It adds 1 player and it adds some ingredient books as well. So you can play up to 5 players if you get that expansion. So it is better with a bigger group of people, is what they recommend.
Right.
So.
But yeah, so other than that, there is.
And if you're, the game is kind of based on luck, which that is one of the drawbacks. But there is an ability which on the score track, if you're behind along the track, then you can add what's called rat tails and basically advance yourself in your potion. So, because it's luck based, it gives you that advantage of furthering yourself along in the potion making to get more points later on.
Kind of catch up to the other player too. So.
Yeah, it kind of balances it out.
Yeah. So those are kind of the positives of the game.
Yeah.
As always, there's always some negatives to games as well. Negatives don't necessarily mean it's bad with the game. It's just something that we feel that might have need to be revisited or just something that's a little different. So as Sarah kind of alluded to, the game is a little bit random. It kind of relies on the luck of the draw of your bag. You can stack your bag throughout the game when you purchase more components. So even though there's a bit of a stacking going on there, luck, you can kind of fix that up a little bit. Outside of that,
Well, I also think that another negative for me, like, I actually don't think there's a ton of negatives in this.
Mhm.
It is really lacking in strategy, which, if you guys watch this channel, you know that I really like games that are heavy on strategy. So because it's luck based, that's kind of a negative to me. I also feel like, so there's these flasks, which you put on your board, and you can flip them over once to basically take one of the ingredients on your pot and put it back into your bag. So if you pull something that is a white chip that will make it so that your potion's going to explode, you can actually put that back into your bag, which is a great ability, except it's a one-time use, and you have to spend these rubies
to refresh it
in order to flip it over again. But the other use of the rubies is to basically advance your potion to start at a later time in the track. So I find that I usually spend my rubies on that instead of flipping over the flask. If they had given some incentive maybe to spend 1 ruby instead of 2, then that would make it a little bit better, or I don't know, just some more incentive to use that. I find that that's really lacking.
I agree. I think I use it maybe once a game, and only because it's there. Not really because it's that beneficial to me.
Yeah.
I find it just because you can
first time.
in the cards here, there's actually cards that kind of mimic the same sort of ability. Where if you draw a white tile, you can, or any tile, you can put it back in your bag, and so that's
He's talking about this one.
yeah, that one there. So it's better bang for your buck that way than that the other way, but you know, that's fine. The other thing I find is sort of it's not really a negative of the game, it's just a style of play that some of these games have where you do your actions at the same time. And while I'm not totally opposed to that, I find it helps make the game a little quicker. For me, it kind of is a distraction to the game. What ends up happening is you're too focused on your little pot here, not your opponent's pot. And so then, you know, by the time that you're done your moves, you kind of look up and they're either been done their moves for ages or still doing it. And you might not know where they are in the round while you're going. So then you might stop or like risk not blow up your potion or your cauldron, but then you realize maybe you should have taken that risk because that other player maybe didn't meet the objective per se.
Yeah, so basically Patrick is saying that you're playing with other people, but in a sense you're kind of playing just by yourself with an objective to meet to try and beat the other player, but only after they're finished playing. So it's not really...
Yeah, like it's still fun.
It's not really interactive.
Yeah,
So...
I just found like last time we played, I didn't really have to engage with her if I didn't want to. Just at the end of it, we just counted our score to see where we were at. So, I mean, you know, what it is. But it is kind of still fun of a mechanic. But maybe I'm just doing it wrong. So
for the most part, I think it's a pretty good game. I mean, all in all, it's not one of my favorite games, but it's definitely a really easy game to learn, easy game to play. It's great for bigger groups, very fun. All in all, I think I would probably give it probably a 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the drawbacks aren't that big.
Yeah, I think I'll be a little bit harsher and probably give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Mostly because of that element where I feel that I can just put on headphones and just play my game and figure out the ending at the end. Which, you know, might work, especially if you have kids and they don't want to talk to you or whatever. But, you know, I mean, it's a good game. I like it. My 3.5 is a strong 3.5. I enjoy it. We play it fairly often. So I do recommend it to people, even though I'm giving it 3.5.
Yeah. So let us know if you agree with our rating of this game or if you have played this game before. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you see more reviews or gameplays of this and other games.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye. Gallifrey's now downstairs. That's 3 seconds. The door closed. Let's see what happens. Hey, Gallifrey.